Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about finding the derivative of e to the x. In order to accomplish this goal, we're going to use the formal definition of a derivative, which just means we're finding the limit as h approaches 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. So that means with this setup, we have the limit as h approaches 0 of e to the x plus h minus e to the x over h. So because I notice I have addition going on in the exponent here, I can think about this as e to the x times e to the h. And I'm going to go ahead and use that to do a quick little rewrite. So this is really the limit as h approaches 0 of e to the x times e to the h minus a 1 over an h. So I'm going to be able to pull out that e to the x and multiply by the limit as h approaches 0 of e to the h minus a 1 over h. So the reason why I do that is I'm going to go ahead and try to find this value out. I'm going to go ahead and use Desmos. So I'm going to add the slider. I want this to go by ones. All right. So if I move the slider, I get it as undefined, meaning that I can't just plug in the 0 in for the h. It gets me an indeterminate form. So I'm going to do the next best thing, and I'm going to look at what e to the x minus 1 divided by x graph looks like in hopes of seeing if I can get the limit with a graphical approach. So as I scroll through and I get closer and closer to x equals 0, notice the y values get closer and closer and closer and closer and closer to 1 from this left side. I do the same thing coming in from the right side. Closer, 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 closer to 1. So therefore, I can use this graph to justify why this right here is a 1. So I can say that it'll be an e to the x times 1, which would just give me e to the x. Meaning that the derivative of e to the x is just e to the x. Huh. Okay, so I'm going to keep that in mind and go through a couple problems with you so you can kind of see how this works. All right, so what I know is this. The derivative of e to the x is itself e to the x. So let's say I had to take the derivative of e to the x cubed plus sine of x. All right, so this one's actually a chain rule problem because I have two functions. The outer function is e to the u if I let u equal x cubed plus sine of x. So take the derivative of the outer function, which will just give me the e to the u, and this will just